hell is he? Jesus, we're supposed to film an hour ago. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna text this guy. Come on, where is he at? Oh, no, 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 this isn't happening, no! Looking for you all over, what are you doing?
I'm go for a ride, man.
No, 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 we got an episode to film. You can cosplay later.
All right, fine.
What have we done, Spite?
We did a real good thing.
Yeah. So, if you saw the title of the video, you saw the whole situation. Yes, it is true. I bought a Harley Davidson Sportster 883 iron. I feel like I switch up those words every time I say it. How is
it has a lot of names.
Tell me, Harley Simp, how is it meant to be pronounced?
The Harley Davidson Sportster Iron 883.
Screeching Eagle. Eagle sounds, America. So, why do we have this bike? Have I become a Harley simp? Did I want to get one? No, no, no. This is a new giveaway bike. Yes, we've heard your cries, the Cruiser boys sending me DMs, sending me comments on all of that, and Spite over here slowly infiltrating the Yammie channel with the Cruiser love and hatred, apparently, according to the last video.
Yep.
But we went and did it. I got this motorcycle and I'm giving it away for free. So hit the link down below, go to yammie.co and check out how you can enter the Modern Classic giveaway. This is a new sweepstakes we're doing. We're gonna be featuring bikes like this, like the Harley, maybe a Bonneville, maybe some of those more interesting, more kind of neo-retro bikes and just have an old school aesthetic to them. So yammie.co, hit the link down below. You can sign up, get entered to win. yammiemerch.com as well. You can pick up a piece of merch, get entered to win this bike too. And it's gonna be a fun time. Spite, you've been waiting for this day a long time.
I really have, honestly.
Yeah, you're over the moon.
It was gonna happen eventually, and I'm just so glad we got to do it now because I feel like it's been a long time coming. You know, we've kind of danced around the issue with some of these other V-twins that we have, and you know, it's just, I'm so happy that we get to ride this bike for the next 4 months and just tweak it and do stuff to it and really get to know this bike quite a lot, because these Harleys are really special motorcycles. As much as people might laugh at the 883 for being the girls' bike of girls' bikes, honestly, this is the best beginner cruiser I think you could go get, aside from something like a Rebel 500.
This has so much more attitude and flavor than a 500 though.
It blows the Rebel 500 out of the water. There's no contest. Just the build quality is so good. I mean, it feels every bit like a $9,000 motorcycle. You know, it earns its price tag, even if it might not be as fast as you might like it to be.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun to ride. It's got so much character and so much just attitude.
You know, in fact, it had so much character and attitude, and those of you who are key observers might notice that there's a little blemish here on the exhaust. That's because I've already taken this bike out for a ride, and we did our first ride impressions. It's going to be coming out in a couple days. And in fact, let me go find how much character that it gave me.
If we were pros, we would have already had the boot on site.
So this motorcycle it really just had so much character overflowing that it just kind of splooged its character all over my boot here. And yeah, the Harley's already claimed its first business related expense for me. I've already bought another pair of boots as soon as I got back here to the office. And yeah, kind of sucks, but you didn't tell me that you have to ride this in a particular way, right?
Well, honestly, I kind of thought you would have had the sense to not ride it like a sport bike.
I ride bikes with the balls of my feet, man.
Yeah, here he was just sitting like that on a Harley Davidson. What are you doing?
Get in the pocket, you know? Want to attack.
But yeah, if it's not painfully obvious, you do not ride this bike like a sport bike.
No,
and
you don't.
It's, honestly, it is one of the most unique riding experiences you can have on two wheels.
I 100% agree.
Like, if you want the American V-twin air-cooled experience, accept no substitute. There is no alternative to this motorcycle.
This is the real deal. Yeah, and that's what I took away from it on my short ride with it, which we'll be getting that video out and a lot more impressions and all that, so we'll save that for that video. But that is what I took away from it. You know, it is the real deal. It's the real thing. And you know, if you are looking for that V-twin cruiser thing, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so interesting that, you know, a lot of people look at these as a beginner bike, which I think is a great option. If you want the cruiser lifestyle, you definitely should be looking at this. But compared to your Vulcans, compared to your Rebels, compared to even the Bolt for a bit, I think the Bolt succeeds a little bit better, but especially the Vulcan and the Rebels, you're always leaving that little bit on the table being like, I could have had a V-twin. I could have had the real authentic sound, the real thing I was looking for. This is the real thing, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, the reason why we went with the 883 over something like a 1200 Sportster is because this is literally a blank slate. If you want to do something and make your Sportster your own, which the great adage is there's no stock, the rarest bike in the world is a stock Sportster. And honestly, it's so rare that we could not find a stock Sportster. We do have a Screaming Eagle, a full exhaust system on here, which is pretty cool. But we are going to be doing some really cool stuff to this bike, really making it our version of the Sportster, and I am so excited to get into it.
Yeah, and the cool part about it too is that they've made Sportsters for so long that a lot of these parts we're looking at getting are pretty cheap compared to some other parts. Like a full system on the R1 is $2,800.
And a full system, like a really good full system on this, can run like 7 at like the top end, honestly.
Brand new rear suspension, you said $300?
Yeah, $300 for a new set of shocks that completely outperform this.
Yeah, go and see how much a new Penske rear shock is for an R6. Have fun. Yeah.
And you know what? It's down to because this cruiser line has been running since 1957, continuously. And the last major update to this bike came in 2014 when they added ABS as an option, and in 2007 when they switched from carbs to fuel injection. So, I mean, these bikes are very similar, and as a result, you can go back to, you know, parts from the 80s and still put it on here. And that's why they're while the parts are really cheap, they're also very good.
Yeah.
You know, a quality part for a Sportster is way cheaper than a quality part for an R1. And it's not just because the R1's a race bike, it's also because it's just, they change.
Yeah.
So the parts need to change.
Even from, I mean, this generation we have, it just recently changed again to the 2020 model. It just updated. I mean, this thing's just been running the same way. And on a bigger note, one of the big reasons why I wanted to do a Harley is, one, we've never done a Harley, and I like doing new things. That is sort of my ethos of life. I like doing new things and being exposed to new ideas and new experiences. And this is a new experience for sure. And also, I think a lot of people on my channel and a lot of the audience is genuinely interested in this style of motorcycle. And I think it would behoove me to explore that and to show it and to see what I think of it and to expose you guys to something like this as well. Because here on Yammie Noob, I think one of our tenets is to love all motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we try to limit to any particular style. Sure, we have our predilections, right? I love my race bike. You love your new KTM, you know, sumo life, race bike life. I have my dirt bike. But the world of two wheels is really vast, really varied, and I want to explore all of it. You know, I want to see all of it. And so this is the one-way ticket to do that. Spite, what else are you excited about this bike?
What I'm most excited about, honestly, is doing the big ticket mod. And you know, spoiler alert here, we're planning on doing the 1250 swap to this bike. That is the mod that every single 883 buyer tells their riding group that they're about to go do.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, everyone gets clowned on for having the 883, and the instant response is, yeah, I'm putting a 1250 kit on it next week. we're actually going to put a 1250 kit in this bike. And honestly, it's really going to transform it. Having ridden this around for a little while, the power's not bad. It's still making 54 horsepower and 54 foot-pounds of torque and 50 horsepower. It's backwards for an American V-twin.
Yeah.
And that's still plenty to get this thing down the road. But when you're talking about making like 90 horsepower and 75 foot-pounds of torque, then this is really going to want to play.
You've almost doubled the horsepower at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like you've added 40 horsepower to it. So that I think is really cool that you get a bike that has that kind of potential. Like if you buy an R6, you're not going to get 40 extra horsepower out of it.
Not without doing some sort of crazy expensive teardown.
I mean, even like full race prepped, like fully prepped R6s maybe do like 135, 140 at the crank, right? You just those motors already make so much power you can't do much to it. But this, if you're a tinkerer, if you like doing stuff to your motorcycle, this is a really good platform. I also think back to the fact that when I was in London last year for a couple trips, you know, I'll see Harleys out and about. Like I think it's really interesting when I see an international audience interested in these bikes as well. I know that our Indian audience actually they talk about Harleys a lot, and I think it's because it has that American je ne sais quoi. There's something about it that just, you know, you just feel good thinking about it and being on it. Right?
And we went out to go film today, and one of the things that I noticed is at a stoplight, people were looking at this bike.
Oh man, honestly, this gets more looks than the R1. Honestly,
it's everybody knows it. Everybody sees Harley Davidson badging on the side, and they're like, "That's a known quantity." It's known beyond the world of motorcyclists.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a genius to know that this is a motorcycle. It's like the big bike.
Yep.
And it's so cool that we're going to get to have it and make content with it. And I'm so happy.
And the cool part is someone's going to get it for free. So this is a giveaway bike. We're only going to hold it for about 4 months or so until the giveaway is over. So hit the link down below. Check out how you can win this motorcycle. We're going to make tons of content about this thing. As you can see through the cowboy hat, we've got a lot of gags planned for it too, which is going to be a lot of fun. What's one video you're really looking forward to making, Spike, besides the 1250 swap?
Besides the 1250 swap, I would love to compare this next to a 1200.
Yeah.
And really get to know the difference between this bike and the 12, because I've ridden the 48 before, I've ridden a Iron 1200 before, but never side by side. And I would love to really see the little differences and where, you know, a sacrifice or a value add is in these bikes, because they're all kind of about the same price, really, which is kind of crazy.
I think for me, I want to see some, not only real world gains from all of our mods, we're going to make some pretty radical changes to this bike, but also just, I want to get like baseline figures for it, just see like what it does in the real world. Like we did that little mini drag race with this fart pillin, and I just absolutely clobbered you with this fart pillin. And that was kind of sad to see, but you also didn't get a good launch and all that. But I want to see what it can really do when push comes to shove, because I am the performance-oriented fast boy over here, and I just want to see what it can do. I also really want to swap out these tires. These suck.
Yeah, the Scorcher's not the best tire.
Not the best tire.
But there's not really a lot of options in that 19
the
up front.
Sportster life is all about making excuses, from what I've heard. So that's the thing. So we're really excited about this motorcycle. Be sure to check out the video coming later this week of our first ride on it. My very first ride in a real Harley, not a street ride, an actual honest-to-God Sportster. That's going to be a long video, so definitely be sure to be tuned into that. And we'll catch you on the next one. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I think that's everything.
Do you want to give it a little kiss?
I'm very excited to have this bike here. I really, even though you may not love it, I love it. I f***ing love this bike. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Hey, you adorable little squid. Thanks for watching the video. Why don't you click on this one right here and keep watching? Don't worry, I'll wait. Just like this. Click the video. Do it now.